Today's news. Today's news.
President Trump speaks to Congress. Our country will be woke no longer. Democrat ejected for outburst.
The chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order.
Wicked weather system.
Over 100 million people under wind alerts today.
Good morning. I'm Steve Kathan. With the CBS World News Roundup, President Trump hailed the first 6 weeks of his new term in office and accused his predecessor of a long list of failures in a 1 hour and 40-minute speech to Congress. CBS's Nancy Cordes reports in an audience dominated by Republicans. A CBS News poll finds 76% approved of the president's message.
America is back.
A self-assured President Trump declared the first month of his second term the most successful in history.
Do you know who number 2 is? George Washington. How about that?
He walked the nation through some of his most aggressive moves.
I withdrew from the unfair Paris Climate Accord. I imposed an immediate freeze on all federal hiring. I signed an order making English the official language of the United States of America.
As Trump ticked off the highlights, some ticked-off Democrats held up signs that said false. And some of his claims were false, including this one.
I terminated the ridiculous Green New Scam.
That policy doesn't exist.
We ended the last administration's insane electric vehicle mandate.
That policy also doesn't exist. In a departure from tradition, Trump repeatedly slammed his predecessor.
Joe Biden especially let the price of eggs get out of control.
Many Democrats walked out.
The chair now directs the sergeant at arms to restore order.
Al Green of Texas had to be escorted out because he wouldn't stop shouting about possible cuts to Medicaid. Billionaire Elon Musk drew jeers and cheers when President Trump slugged the massive cuts Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency had been making to the federal workforce. The president also touted new tariffs on Canada, Mexico, and China, but admitted there may be some short-term pain.
Tariffs are about making America rich again, and there'll be a little disturbance.
In the speech, Trump revealed a suspect in the suicide bombing at the Kabul airport that killed 13 American service members during the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan has been taken into custody and is being brought to the U.S. to face charges. Michigan Senator Elissa Slotkin delivered the Democratic response to the speech, focusing on the economy.
The president talked a big game on the economy, but it's always important to read the fine print. So, do his plans actually help Americans get ahead? Not even close.
Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick told Bloomberg there might be carve-outs coming to the 25% tariffs placed on Canada and Mexico. He indicated the president would update his tariff plans later today, possibly sparing sectors such as autos from the taxes. And a sharply divided Supreme Court rejected an administration push to rebuke a federal judge who imposed a quick deadline to release billions of dollars in foreign aid. Overseas, French President Macron says he's considering a joint visit to Washington along with Ukraine's president and the British Prime Minister as diplomatic efforts accelerate to end Russia's war in Ukraine.
I'm Vicky Barker at the Foreign Desk in London. The Kremlin says it's positive about President Trump's comments, suggesting Ukraine is ready for peace talks with Russia. Former President Dmitry Medvedev just said job one for Russian forces in Ukraine is to inflict maximum defeat on the country. Ukrainian officials say 2 people were killed overnight in Russian attacks in the Odessa region and in neighboring Kherson, with large-scale damage reported to critical energy infrastructure.
At least 2 people were killed in Mississippi as violent weather pushed through much of the South. Tornadoes reported in parts of Oklahoma, and CBS's Rob Marciano tells us
we've already had over 160 damaging storm reports, including at least 6 tornadoes, one of which may have been just northwest of New Orleans last night. There's some damage there, too. But let's get to where this storm is going. It's moving very quickly, and the line is already up towards the East Coast and the Carolinas, and that's your danger zone. Myrtle Beach up to Richmond, Raleigh, and Virginia Beach as well. We'll see damaging winds, potentially tornadoes there as this line continues to rapidly move that way.
You're listening to the World News Roundup from CBS News. It's 4 minutes after the hour.
Well, that's today's news. Today's news. I didn't hear any good news, did you? I didn't think so. I guess it's all about perspective. The glass is half full. Well, as always, I'd like to thank you again for coming along with me on these Dash Cam News adventures. You know the drill. Peace. love.